Happy Thursday, 8th graders. So moving on with Module 4, today we are finding slope and the y-intercept from a graph. So we're given graphs here, and you guys have already found slope before by counting rise over run. So we're going to start by doing that. The first thing I want you to do is find two perfect points. So find 2 points where the line perfectly crosses the grid. I always like to use that y-intercept point right there. There's one, and then I see another one over here. All right, taking a look, we always go left to right. So to get from that left point to the right point, I'm rising and running. So count how many you're rising. In this case, I'm rising 2, and then I'm running 3. So my slope is 2 over 3. My y-intercept is where it crosses the y-axis. And you can see I already identified this point right here where it crosses. The coordinates of that point are 0, 2. So that means our y-intercept is 2. So the equation would be y equals 2/3 x plus 2. Whatever that number is, I just add it on the end. Since it's a positive 2, I add plus 2. Okay, looking at the next one, I'm going to do the same thing. We can really go out of order. Let's start with the y-intercept here. I notice that this one goes right through the origin, so my y-intercept is 0, meaning this one is proportional. Okay, let's find another perfect point. I see a point right here at 2, 3. So again, count the rise over run. So I'm going to rise and I'm going to run. I rose 3 and then I ran 2. So my slope would be 3 over 2. So my equation would be y equals 3 over 2x. So this equation is just like what we were doing in the previous module because it's non-proportional. Looking at the first one, we had at the end of the equation has that plus 2 because that's where it crosses. So look at this equation right here. It's just like us saying y equals 3 over 2x plus 0. We don't need that 0 there, so that's why we just write it as y equals 3 over 2x. Awesome. All right. Looking at this next one. Okay, we want to identify the slope and the y-intercept, and then we're going to dig a little deeper and identify what it means in the concept of this problem. So this is a word problem. So the theme park charges a fee to enter the park and a certain amount per ticket. So X is the number of tickets and Y is the cost. As you can see, it's labeled on the X and Y axis. So the slope. Remember, for slope, we count rise over run. So we already have points identified here. I'm going to rise and I'm going to run. You might be thinking, oh, it's 1 over 2. But you have to look closely at the X and Y axis, the intervals. So each of these tick marks really represent 4. 4, 8, 12, 16. So this one would be 20. So when we rise here, when we rise 1, we're actually rising 4. Because 20 to 24 is 4. Our run, these are going up by 1, so that makes it nice and easy. We're running 2. 4 over 2 is the same thing as 2. So the slope, rise over run. The 4 represents the cost, and 2 represents the tickets. So if it's $4 per ticket, we simplified it to 2. So it's $2 per ticket. So the slope is 2, and it represents the cost per ticket. So the cost per ticket. Awesome. Now we want to identify the y-intercept. Well, we already did identify that point right here. Remember we said it was 20? So it's 20. So that starting point is 20. I always like to reread the question and identify what is that starting point. The theme park park charges a fee to enter in this certain amount per ticket. Well, we already know it's $2 per ticket. 20 is that starting fee, so it's the fee to enter the park. So if you go to this theme park, you have to pay $20 to get in, and then you pay $2 per ticket. Awesome. You guys can move on to the independent. I hope you have a wonderful day.